Hello and welcome to UK Wildcat Sports Channel to episode 4 of Comps Realignment and the possibility of Florida State and Clemson joining the Big 12. Now, these are just rumors right now, so it's not official. This is just my thoughts on if this is to happen, what could go down. So starting off, the Big 12 is at 16 teams right now, with those teams including Arizona State, Utah, BYU, Colorado, Texas Tech, TCU, Baylor, Houston, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Iowa State, Cincinnati, West Virginia, and UCF. So mainly the bulk of the amount of teams though is out west though, and then you have a few teams though, they're new additions out in the East Coast. So this is what this would look like. So we have Clemson, Florida State, two obviously pretty elite schools now in terms of football and just a lot of other sports too, right? I mean, Florida State's good in baseball, and I know Clemson's good in baseball too, and soccer. So they just bring a lot of stuff to the table now. So obviously they wanted to change. So this is what the Big 12 looked like now with those additions. Now to the ACC. Now I have Notre Dame on here because technically they're a member just for not football. That's why there's hashtag whatever. But enough of that. So would the ACC collapse though? Be the next question. My thought on that is no, it really wouldn't. I'll get to that back to that later though. So here's the Pac-12 or 2. So there's also been rumor now that they're expanding to 8 teams, apparently, is what they want from the Mountain West teams. And so those teams, of course, are Boise State, UNLV, Fresno State, San Diego State, Air Force, and Colorado State. Of course, just as I said, rumors, some of these are, but yeah, that would be that expansion. So then Pac-12 gets to Pac-8 again. So then the Mountain West is down to 6 teams. Now, Mountain West won't collapse. They're not gonna. They're gonna. Here's what they do. First off, they can get New Mexico State, UTEP, get that rivalry between New Mexico State. Then get that, and then UTEP, a little market there in El Paso. So then you have to 8 teams. So then they can add in some FCS teams here. Now Idaho was once FBS. So all these schools. So we have Sacramento State, Idaho, Montana State, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State. Obviously, North Dakota State, South Dakota State are top of the premier of FCS, and Montana State are good too. Sacramento State's good. They could be able to transition up to FBS level. So this to make Mountain West 14 teams, so they wouldn't collapse. This is how I would see it. So they're not. That's how I would have it. So there you go, the new Mountain West. So then Conference USA down to 10 teams. Again, they're going to pull out some teams from the FCS, and those teams could be Eastern Kentucky, who has the facilities to help transition to the FBS, and Youngstown State as well. They do. So then there's your Conference USA with 12 teams. So the ACC, back to that, it wouldn't necessarily collapse. Here's my reasoning. So like teams like Louisville, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and Duke, and all those other teams, why would they though want to go to the Pac-10 or Pac-12? We're going to call it Pac-12. Why would they? I mean, because right in this scenario, they're full of Mountain West teams. Then the Big 12, it's not like the Big 12 can consume all 14 of these teams, or not 14, 15, not including Notre Dame. That's just not possible. So I could see, though, California and Stanford leaving to go to the Pac-12, though, because they don't get the same amount of revenue as all the other ACC teams do. Them, SMU, Stanford, California. So I could see them hopping over back to the Pac-12. So then the ACC could possibly then add, to refill these members, Memphis, Tulane, South Florida, Temple. Like I said, why would teams like North Carolina State, Duke, Miami, why would those teams go join the Pac-10? That's why I heard the Pac-10 or Pac-12 would take those teams. Why would they join other conferences? The ACC won't collapse unless the SEC and Big Ten stab, which they're not at the moment. So 18 teams right there with Notre Dame. So the American Athletic Conference. Next video, we'll talk about what they could do in this scenario. But it's not much, it's not like they're going to collapse, though, too. So here would be a 2030 conference here. In 2030, I think this could be what it could look like with the group of 6 it would be. So out there you have, of course, you have your Pac-10. Then you got your Mountain West now. Then you got Conference USA, Sun Belt, and American Athletic Conference. So the expansion of FCS teams is what's fueling these conferences. Not much changes in the Power Four, except for just some new teams added in. ACC has some new faces: Tulane, Memphis, now South Florida, Temple. Big 12 expanded. I still think Big 10, SEC would be your dominant conferences. I think Big 12 then would now definitely be your third conference, and fourth ACC. So that's all for this video today. If you do enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. And if you have questions about the scenario or you disagree with anything, feel free to comment.